Rolling.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to this meet's first charity first handicapping challenge. We had this in the fall meet. It was a great success. We got a lot of great responses, and we raised a lot of money for charity. So we decided to do it again, but even bigger. Last meet, we started with 16 individuals in this handicapping challenge. This time, we're starting with 32. So it's going to be 5 rounds instead of 4 rounds. At the end, there's going to be one handicapper left standing, and that handicapper will win $1,000. But along the way, we're going to be raising a lot of money for charity, in specifically Karma and the PDJF. So some worthy causes that we're going to be raising money for. But more than anything, we're going to try to entertain you, give you some insights into maybe who you should be wagering on today at Santa Anita, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun along the way. And I know we're going to have fun because we've got 2 fantastic guests. My name is George O, and right here to my that way is Tyler Fausto. He's filling in for Chappie, who's usually got his team members going here. But Tyler has really, behind the scenes, has worked phenomenally. I got my hats off, even though I don't have a hat on, my hat off to Tyler, who really has impressed me so much this meet. He's put this together via StreamYard, and he's done a lot of work behind the scenes. Plus, he's really the key man whenever we need anything to do with First Bet. He's there for us. So, Tyler, thanks for everything, and everything looks like it's going smoothly, right?
So far, so good. I appreciate that, George. It's a team effort, of course, though. Everyone at Santa Anita, we can't do this without them, obviously. They're the ones that put on the great show. But thank you.
Fantastic show. And boy, did we start out with a spectacular show on opening weekend, especially opening day. We saw some monsters. Charlatan was so impressive, ultra impressive. And wow, I just can't say enough about him. And Bob Baffer's got another one coming up. Life is Good, another monster. He's got to be thankful this holiday season for some tremendous horses. And we are thankful for having some tremendous handicappers on the show. I'm going to start with my man, Ruben Mendes. I've known him for a while. He's worked here at Santa Anita as a wagering ambassador, as well as me, producer on shows like TVG, on-air talent. He does it all. One of the best handicappers I know, and a fabulous person is joining us. Ruben Mendes is going to be representing Team George O. Ruben, welcome to the show.
Thank you, George. Thank you, Tyler. Great to see you guys.
All right, Ruben's got the headsets on. He's got the LA hat, and he's looking good. But Tyler, you got a fantastic, guest that is going to try to take down my man Ruben. Tell me a little bit about Matt Dinnerman.
Matt Dinnerman, the track announcer from Golden Gate Fields, the voice that we all love to hear when our horse is in the lead and he's calling them out strong. He's definitely my guest of the day. I think he's one of the best handicappers up north, and I always follow his picks without a doubt. Between him and Jeff Siegel down here, I think they have California covered pretty well.
Go ahead, George.
Just an honor to have you here, Matt. You're one of my favorites as well. And go ahead, say hello to the fans.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, we're looking forward to a fun time here, and I think Ruben's the morning line favorite in this battle. But long shots win. Let me tell you, they only win. The favorite only wins 33% of the time, so that means 2/3 of the time the morning line favorite doesn't win. So we're gonna go for it.
All right, welcome to the show. Jeff Chapman chiming in saying, "I'm coming back soon." He'll probably be here either tomorrow or maybe the day after. So we'll be looking forward to seeing Chappie back here, my cohort in crime, so to speak. All right, let me tell you guys basically how this works. If you've never seen this before, each one of our handicappers is going to have $300 bankroll to play with. They're going to have to bet one horse during the course of the day, $100 to win. Then they're also going to have $100 in exacta. They can make an ice cold exacta, like my man Dave Weaver says, or they can also I'm sorry, I just saw Chef Chapman said that Matt is 1 to 5. Oh boy, he's confident in team. But the second bet is $100 exacta. They could either ice cold it or a $50 exacta box. And then the final bet is $100 in a daily double. It could be a straight $100 daily double or a part wheel, a $50 part wheel, 1 horse to 2 horses or 2 horses to 1. So those are the 3 bets that they're going to have to make. And at the end of the day, whoever has the most money will move on to the next round, Whoever loses will be eliminated and out of the tournament. If they end up 0-0, if they both end up tied, we're gonna have a tiebreaker in race number 8, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. Right now, I'm gonna start off with my man Ruben. You got $100 to win. Where are you betting it?
Let's start off straight off the top here. Race 1. Probably my best bet of the day. I wouldn't be surprised if Matt also liked this horse a little bit. The number 9 horse, Midnight Surprise, Northern California horse, ran on dirt last time. One of my favorite angles for potential value scenarios are horses in a race today that finished behind other horses in today's field in their previous race. She's getting a little bit of action in the early money, but I really love the 9 horse here, Midnight Sunrise. So that'll be my $100 win bet.
Woo! $100 to win. Number 9, Midnight Sunrise, which will be somewhat of a surprise at 15-1 in the morning line. We win this. Kiss goodbye, Matt.
I think we're looking at probably odds, probably about 8-1, maybe 12-1 when the gates open. She has some good synthetic form, and last race was on dirt. Throw it out. And I think the turf course, obviously, those races play much more similar to synthetic surfaces.
Hold on, George. Was there some inside information leaked out here? Did you tell Reuben that he was going to go up against Matt? So Reuben's trying to beat him at his own game? This is kind of messed up. I feel like there's something going on here on the inside. What's going on?
All right, your turn. Your turn to shoot $100 to win. Matt, where are you going and why?
I'm going to race number 3 today. We're going to go with Talking number 5, a horse who, you look on paper, this horse last time out ran 3rd for the Jonathan Thomas stable and ran 3rd to a horse, Dynadrive, who came back to lose by about a length and a half to Pixelate, who won the Del Mar Derby over the summer at Del Mar. And you've seen this horse run against, take a look at this, Gufo, Pixelate, Sensation, who's an allowance stakes caliber horse. We just talked about Dynadrive. He finished right behind Bye Bye Melvin, who's a really nice stakes caliber horse. What I like about this move here is you could say to yourself, why is this horse in for such a lower level compared to what he's been running against? He might not have the same form he did when he was running in stakes races over the summertime, but the fact of the matter is, first off the claim for Robert Falcone, who wins at 27% first off the claim, he puts this horse in a sneaky good spot because it's an easier spot than he's been running against, but he's still protected, so you can't claim him, and I think that's a big positive. Robert Falcone Jr., putting him in a really competitive spot at the same time, you can't claim him. So I think this horse is primed for a really good run today. He comes off a bit of a layoff, a couple months of freshening, rather, but not a lot of speed in the race, but I feel he's tactical enough to stock with Mario Gutierrez. So Talking 3-1 on the morning line, a lot more of a formful pick than Rubens in the first race, but I think this horse has a big chance today, and it wouldn't even surprise me if he goes off favorite. He's not the favorite on the morning line, but it wouldn't surprise me if he goes off favorite, just with all those angles in mind.
All right, wonderful angle. Let me tell you what, I am so excited about this meet. Obviously, we broke the opening day record here at Santa Anita for handle. The previous handle was like 20,491,000. And on opening day, our great fans wagered over $23 million. And I think it's a forecast of things to come. I think we're going to have a sensational meet. One of the reasons I believe that is because of a horse like Talking. Like Talking, I think is here. And I spoke to Robert Falcone. He's here to take down that Sunshine Bonus. It is a fantastic program that our racing department, Chris Merce, just came up with a fabulous idea, the Sunshine Bonus, where people who ship in, we're going to get a bonus if they win. So we're going to see a lot of horses shipping into our meet. All the purses have been increased by 10%. That's going to make our product even better. I just feel that our meet is going to be one of the best we've ever had. We weren't really prepared for COVID back in March when it hit, but we're prepared now, and we're looking forward to a sensational meet. And Talking is attracting trainers like Falcone, who's bringing in a lot of head of horses here to compete this meet. And I think it's going to be a fabulous meet, and I think that that's an excellent choice.
And George, you're talking about the bonuses for our owners. Let's talk about a little bit of a bonus that we have going on this weekend for people playing Santa Anita Park. First bet, we have a 10% rebate going on first bet. So this weekend, if you're playing Santa Anita Park, you get up to $50 back on each day. Just go in on your first bet account, go down to more, click on the promotions page to check out this week's promotions. You can see all the terms and conditions there. But the players are what keep us going, so we need to take care of them too with some nice little promos like that going on.
Fantastic. First Bet is definitely where I love betting. Go to firstbet.com or download the app, and you're going to be enjoying some wonderful entertainment here at Santa Anita and throughout the country, especially at all the Stronach tracks. Ruben, what's been going on in your life here through this whole COVID? Everybody's been having to work from home and staying safe, which is the most important thing. Tell us a little about Reuben Mendes during these last few months. What have you been doing?
You know, I've just been focusing a lot on my daughter's school. She's school from home. She's doing a wonderful job. My wife and I were very proud of her. She's doing a fantastic job with math. She exceeded her test expectations, trying to stay healthy, you know, a lot of jogs on the beach, and really trying to be grateful for all the important stuff that, you know, life is not perfect right now. It will get better, but really try to be grateful for all the blessings we have going on.
Yes, I echo your sentiment as well, and I always felt blessed. I mean, I'm not trying to blow smoke towards your way, Ruben, but whenever I worked with you and you were my producer, I always felt confident that everything was going to go smoothly. You really were wonderful to work with, and when you were here, I could tell that your dedication and your passion for this game, it just easily, was expressed to the fans. Whenever you interacted with any of the fans back when we had fans here at Santa Anita, it was just, I felt that Santa Anita was very, very lucky to have you on our team. And I feel very lucky to have you on my team as we try to take down Matt Dinnerman. Come on. All right, Ruben, you got $100 exacta. Where are you going and why?
All right, let's head over to race number 5. It's going to be a exacta Keen, the 2 Warren's Candy Girl. I think she's probably the most likely winner today. I don't think she'll get crushed too much in the betting. I think probably 2 to 1-ish when the gates open. There's a lot of speed drawn to her outside. I think the 6, 7, the 8, all those horses end up sending, and the race is going to set up well for the 2 on top. I think as a pure most likely winner on the card, she's the one I would go to. So I'm going to key her in an exacta over the 9 logical horse, but then also over the 8 horse flag salute. So my exacta there is the 2 with the 8 and 9.
All right, $50 exacta for Ruben. It's a part wheel. It's a 2 over the 8-9 to get that money. And again, the more money that our handicappers make on these bets, the more money we're going to be donating. And we haven't exactly come up with the algorithm as to what that's going to entail. But hopefully we're going to try to make a lot of money for you fans as well. You should be betting along with our handicappers. In the fall meet, if you bet everything that our handicappers gave out, you showed a tremendous profit. It was really wonderful, and I'm sure it's going to be the same as well. Matt, before we get to your selection, I just want to get your thoughts. You absolutely are one of my favorite track announcers. And you, when you came with your father here, remember to Santa Anita, I love that bond between you and your father. It's just spectacular. You've seen a lot of horse races. Now, the big race on opening day was billed Nashville against Charlatan. And although at the top of the stretch, it looked like maybe they were going to throw it down during the stretch, Charlatan just exploded. What were your thoughts on this spectacular racehorse and the race itself?
I was blown away by his effort. I mean, first of all, Bob Baffert, not only is he a great horseman because he has his horses always cranked up, but first-time starters, horses coming off of layoffs, it's not easy to get horses ready to go off of breaks or even in their first races, and he's just so good at getting them fit and ready to go, and I think it's because of his training regimen. But looking at this horse, I mean, Nashville went 21 and change and 44 and change, and Charlatan was on his tail. I mean, he wasn't sitting 3-4 lengths behind. He was moving too, and he just blew by him like Nashville was standing still. And to me, that was a superstar-like performance, a true grade 1 caliber effort. And you don't see performances like that very often, especially off of layoffs. So I was blown away, and I was not surprised he won, but I was certainly blown away with the way he won. He's a good horse, really good horse, to say the least.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, we need a really good exacta to wager on. Our fans are waiting with bated breath. Matt, where are you going to go with your $100 exacta and why?
So I'm going to the last race, race number 9, and this is a very good race, a maiden special weight. A lot of people like to play the maiden races. You're going to be getting some good handle in this race, and it's a really competitive race too. Now, I went towards the outside, so my exact is going to be A over B and C. So my A horse is McWhirter, number 11, 5-1 on the morning line. He adds blinkers today for trainer Doug O'Neill. I talk about it on the Golden Gate feed. One of my favorite angles is the maiden second-time starter angle. Horses that really just take a step forward of the race under their belt. We saw great horses like Arrogate and American Pharaoh. They didn't even win their first start. So they really improved in their second lifetime start. But that's just example of even great horses who don't win their first start. So I really like to key in on horses that are making their second lifetime start. This horse actually ran pretty good behind a horse named Anaconda, who won going away at low odds for trainer Richard Mandela. And even though Anaconda hasn't come back to do much, I still think he's a horse with a lot of talent. In his last couple of races, one of those races he routed, and maybe it was just a little too soon facing really experienced horses routing. And then last time out, last week, didn't get the greatest trip in a sprint race. So I think that McWhirter lost to a pretty good horse there. He adds blinkers, and there's a bullet 6 furlong work on the page. And here's an angle I like too. Putting on the blinkers, seeing a speedy drill, maybe it's telling you that equipment change is going to help him a bit. So I think there's really reason to believe. He draws post 11. Now he's in the 10 hole with the scratch of number 4, I believe it is. I do feel that this horse, from a post position standpoint, I wish he could be a little farther in, but I think he's going to run well. So he's the top pick for me, and I'm going to use obviously 2 horses underneath in this exacta. One of them is going to be number 5, Johan Zafani, who in Europe, he started his career over there, ran some really good races sprinting on the turf and synthetics. And this horse in 2 starts in America is routed. He cuts back from a route to a sprint. My favorite angle, especially with a horse who has proven he can sprint effectively. We saw that in Europe. He probably, to me, looking on paper, is going to be a late-running sprinter in America. He was a horse that could sit and stalk in Europe, but the paces there are a little slower. I think the pace will be pretty decent here. So he'll be coming from off the pace, but he's going to be really fit. And I see that with these horses. They cut back from a route to a sprint, and they're just really, really fit. I'm also going to use Hollywood Hellraiser, who ran a pretty decent race first out sprinting, routed in his next start, ran okay, gets a little time off, third start, cuts back in distance. And I thought he ran sneaky good in his first start for Phil D'Amato, who doesn't always win first out. So I think this horse third start in the form cycle will be ready to go. So we're going to go 11 over number 5 and 7 in my exacta.
All right, number 7, Joel Rosario, one of my favorite jockeys of all time. I was actually sort of like helping be his agent for a while when he was first out here in Southern California. He was a pleasure to work with, wonderful jockey. But I got to tell you what, and I want to get your thoughts, Matt, especially because I've been very, very impressed with Ricardo Gonzalez. And you obviously have seen him up there, up north. Boy, opening day, he won 2 stakes races, including a grade 1. And he has really caught the eye of not only the fans here, but the trainers as well. Tell me about this guy's talent. He looks like the goods.
He's a very talented rider. And you look at Ricky, and he's a perfect size for a jockey. I mean, I think he's like 5 feet tall, and he's a perfect size for a rider. And one thing about Ricky is that very early on in his career, he had a lot of success as an apprentice rider, and we saw him really catch the eye of great horsemen all up in Northern California. And at one time, he was the top rider for Jerry Hollendorfer at a very young age, along with Russell Bays, obviously, at the time. So obviously, you look and you say, okay, this kid's got talent right away. And he had a lot of success in Northern California. He was riding first call for Jonathan Wong, our leading trainer, before he went down to Santa Anita. But Ricky, he's really good on the lead. He's really good with speed horses. The speed horses, they really keep going under him. But he's versatile too, and you saw that with Fair Maiden, sitting off the pace, making out a good trip in a large field and getting the job done and keeping her out of traffic trouble. And he's a good kid. He's a very positive person, and he loves the horses, and he loves what he does. And with that passion alone will take him somewhere, but along with the talent, it means he's going to have a very successful career as a rider. And I'm happy for him and Abel and Juan Hernandez, all those guys that are down south coming from Northern California and doing good. And we have probably one of the most underrated jockey colonies in Northern California. We've got some good riders, and it's showing how our older guys have come down and really done some damage.
They really have. Ruben, you've done some damage in Vegas. I know you love going to Vegas, baby. Boy, don't you miss going out there?
I can't recall for the last 18 years of my life when there was 11 months where I didn't go to Vegas. I mean, I miss the city so much. So soon enough, though. Soon enough.
All right, we're gonna need you to do some damage with the Daily Double. It's our last bet, $100 bet. Where are you going and why?
All right, let's go to race number 5. I'm sorry, race number 6. Let's go to race 6.
Okay.
And our double here, we're going to start off the double. It's only a 4-horse field. I think it's just simply a match race between the 1 and 2 here. I think the 1's going to get bet a lot. I think the 2, there's maybe some potential value there. She's been working out well. 2 horses, keep it simple, the 1 and 2. I think if the 1 gets out to an early lead, is out by 2 or 3 lengths early, gets a little breather, it might be game over. But Parsimony's an adaptable horse. I think a viable upsetter. And then we're going to really emphasize the horse in race 7 that I love is the 4-horse Quattroel. Pretty much River Boyne connections, going with the filly version this year. Last time she was wide. I think there's some pace in this race. Been working out well. Tyler Bays, Jeff Mullins, Red Baron Barn, European import. Looks like a very, very good play there on her own. So we're going to go a daily double in race 6, the 1 and the 2, with number 4 in race 7.
All right, race 7 is going to be a race where Quattrell, I think Quattrell and Javanica exited the same race, and Quattrell was extremely wide. I remember that day.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of ground, so certainly comparing the tables on Javanica there for sure. All right, final bet of the day for you, Matt Dinnerman. Where are you going with that daily double?
So we're going to stick with race 3 because I talked about talking in that race, but I will not be keen talking in this daily double. I actually key a horse in race number 4, but we've got 2 horses in race 3. So talking obviously is one of them. And the other is a little bit of a price play, and that's Antithetical, a horse that it appears to me he wants to route on the turf. His best races are routing on the grass. Similar to Reuben's horse, talking about number 1, Knee Deep in Snow and Parsimony, both of them very adaptable horses, and I think this type of horse is the same thing in race number 3. He's a horse that can sit close. He can come from well off the pace. He's routed twice in his life on the turf, and one of those races he had a horrid start, was double-digit lengths behind, which is not a place where he wants to be, and he still made up a ton of ground that day and ran 3rd in a large field of 11. In his next start, he got a much better trip and ran a really good 2nd against Open Company in a starter allowance race. I think this horse, this is what he wants to do, get back to the turf, back to going long, and I feel this is a field that he can handle. His speed figures indicate it. Steve Mayotte, very sneaky good trainer, and he's good at spotting his horses. So we're going to use 2 runners in race 3 there, numbers 4 and 5. And then in race number 4, I do think the favorite Veroma is going to be tough in there. I know he didn't show anything in Emerald Downs, but we've talked about first-time starters. It wasn't maiden special weight there, so give her a pass. She comes back about 4 months later after that, so took some time off. Maybe she come out, just not feeling 100%. Returns as 100% and runs a lot better for maiden 50. Goes to the front, duels in the lead, weakens a little bit, loses by 2, but she earned a much better speed figure than everybody else. 2nd start off a break, 3rd start in the form cycle. Looks like the quickest of the quick in here, and if she can clear off with Apprentice Jessica Pfeiffer, I'm expecting her putting her on to A, get the weight break, and B, get her to show some speed again. I think Veroma will be tough. So that's my daily double there. We're going to go numbers 4 and 5 over the 2 in races 3 and 4 to complete Team Tyler, Chap, and Matt taking it down.
Tyler, you've obviously loved the races. You follow it this girl, Jessica Pfeiffer, she did so well at Los Alamitos, almost won the title. What are your thoughts on this jockey? She's really been looking very good for an apprentice.
She's been crushing it lately. Ever since she got on live mounts. I mean, Brandon O'Brien's one of my longtime friends, and he's her agent, and so I'm always cheering her on just for that sake. But seeing those wins left and right, obviously has some talent there, without a doubt.
All right, just in case there's a tie at the end of this, we need a tiebreaker, and we did a scientific analysis to see who went first of rock, paper, scissors, and I lost. So, Matt, race number 8, pick a horse, and if it finishes in front of Ruben's horse and you guys are tied, you will move on. Who are you going with in race number 8?
I'll take Carte Blanche, number 7, in race number 8, a horse that cuts back from a route to a sprint, drops in class for trainer Phil D'Amato. It looks like there are a couple of horses in here that could get the first jump on him, and he's been going one-turn miles at Churchill Downs in a lot of his races, so he can go one turn, but I like that he's cutting back in distance, and I also like the fact that he won a race back in September going a one-turn mile, and he just sat a couple lengths off the lead to a length off the pace at a couple of calls. So I think this horse is more versatile than what we've seen in his last few races, where he doesn't necessarily show a ton of speed in a couple of those races. So Carte Blanche is the one for me in here, but I was leaning between him and Eustace, and I just ended up going with the horse that I think might be a little better, and I think Eustace, he might bounce. He comes off a really big effort.
All right, Ruben, who are you picking in race number 8?
I'm going to go with the 2-horse, Old Indian Trick. Long layoff, horse has been gelded, probably floats up a little bit on the odds. I think Pipey will do fine with the layoff. Brings him back at a reasonable level. Pace-wise, not sure how crazy it's going to be. Seems like a consistent horse for the level, so I'm going with the 2 there.
All right, we were talking a little bit about Jessica, how well she's doing, and chiming in is Nadia Osborne from up there in your town up there, Matt Dinnerman, and the little I've had to deal with her, she is just phenomenal, just very intelligent, very knowledgeable about marketing. She's really picking up on this game big time, and I know she's rooting for you, Matt. There's no question about it. So thanks to Nadia, and she's like showing girl power. All right, and great to have her chime in. We want to thank both of you guys. Thank you very, very much for your time. We wish you both much luck, and can't wait to hear you once again calling the races back when it resumes over there at Golden Gate. Matt, can't wait to start working with you again, Ruben, when all this settles down. You both are excellent. Thank you guys for being on the show. Tyler, any last thoughts before we say goodbye?
Nothing much. I'd just like to express that again. Thank you guys for coming on the show. It's always great having some great talent on the air. Some people that people aren't normal to see on air. It's kind of cool to bring you back there. And Dinnerman, you're always good. Ruben, we work together and you always cap very well. So let's see. This is going to be a great challenge of the thinking mind. Good luck, guys.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow and every racing day at 10:30 a.m. So tune in, and hopefully you'll have a great time here at the Great Race Place, Santa Anita Park. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Good luck.